Hello, good morning.
Here is the chart, and today I'm going to be enlightening everyone on order flow. This is about my strategy with the daily time frame, combining this with Fibonacci retracement, teaching you all more about Choch and Retest. So yeah, guys. So this is me explaining how I trade with key levels and order flow, right? Um, Basically, I'm going to be explaining how you're going to do your top-down analysis, that is from up to bottom, how to combine time frames with key levels, and how to know when is the best time to get into the market, when your POI is ready. Trading is very simple. It's all about your entries and your exits, right? And also, the major importance of trading is not just about your execution, it's also about your psychology. Because it's the psychology that trains what you execute, right? That is what improves your knowledge. When you're when you're fixated on your chart a lot, you would probably make mistakes, get your emotions all over the place. But yeah, we teach you how to like take your trades, allow it to play out, give it time to breathe. Like when I mean give it time to breathe, allow your trades, allow the candles to form. You understand? You're working with hourly candles here, you're working with daily candles here. You should be able to like give it time. Like I'm going to explain like a lot of things right now for you guys. Like I'm going to like shed more light on things you do not know. Especially for those that are just starting trading. You understand? So these are just starting trading, like for you to know that okay, yeah, you're not just having to like jump into the market and do whatever you like. It's very structured. You understand? Market structure is important. Market structure is very, very important when trading because without market structure, you're not doing anything, you understand? And you're not going anywhere. Trading is not gambling, right? It is not gambling. It's all about structure. Price, time and price, execution, they all matter. Understand? So like first things first now, I'm going to give an overview of everything I'm going to be explaining here on the charts, right? So this is AUD right? This is AUD. Like we're working with our key levels. The first things first, how do we know the trends in the market, right? How do we know market trend? This is how we know market trend, right? So like, yeah, here is your, this is a high in the market, right? This is a high. Then this is your low in the market. This low, and this is the next high. So this is the low I made that high, which makes this low right here your key level in this particular order flow, right? But this continues to happen time and time on the market. Then the market was like bullish until this point. This is where everything changed in the market. Let me show you guys how everything changed. After mitigating a demand zone at this point, we're working with supply and demand zones and key levels and other flow one time, like how we can work with our time frame. I always use daily time frame because I feel like it's stronger. It's my experience on the market. I feel like daily candles, daily time frame, daily structure is what I work with. So now, after the first change of character, some people call it market structure shift. After the first change of character or market structure shift in the market, this is where I mark it out. I always mark it out as the daily key level, right? This is where market broke a significant place in the market, whereby sellers are allowed to get into the market. Sellers feel in control of the market. Understand? Sellers feel in control of the market. How do you know sellers are in control of the market? The daily change of character, market structure, anyone you want to call it, daily key level. You can call it daily key level. Do you understand? So now, after this low made this high, right? After this low made this high, guys, this is how markets works. Let me show you guys. This is simply this is simply what we're doing here. Simply what we're doing here. Something like this, 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 and the market structure shifts and pull back, and the break of structure, probably another break of structure at this point, and pull back, and maybe some liquidity grab at that point. You know, this is how market works. So I'm just going to show you guys the wrong number I would have. This is it. So like after this low was broken in the market, and there was a high, right? This was your change of character. Yeah. And we pull back. Then we use our Fibonacci. How do we use our Fibonacci? This is how we do it. And this is how I do my Fibonacci. I always use 61.8% of the zone. If you're in a bearish flow, if you're in a bearish flow, this is how you mark out the Fibonacci in the bearish flow. from that high, right, in this low, right, and this is your 61.8. Let me play out for you guys. See, we have levels marked out 0 to 100. Then you always wait for price to get up at least 61.8%. Up at least 61.8% of the zone. When market gets to that zone, this is what happens. You put yourself positions, and in some lower time frame, there will be liquidity that will play. This is me switching to 4 hours time frame, right? So like liquidity will always be cleared in the lower time frame, right? So this is liquidity cleared. If there's liquidity around this point, liquidity around this point, and it was cleared, what price mitigated. That's POI I use in the lower time frame because you can use it. If you're working with the daily trend, you should use a POI from the lower time frame, such as the 3 hours, the 4 hours, the 2 hours, or the 1 hour. Right? I use the 4 hours and 1 hour sometimes. So like this will happen. Price gets into the POI after clearing liquidity, and it's a zone above the 61.8% zone. Perfect for me, right? Very perfect for me. My stop loss just above the 78% zone, right? You must put it above it because from experience, that's what works. You understand? From experience, that's what works. Put it above it. Then take your entries from the POI straight down to your target level, which is break of structure. The first break of structure after the um bearish order flow, the bearish key level confirmation. So that's it. Like after your change of character, pull back, the sellers take it down to BOS. Do you understand? So let's take it down to BOS. So like now, that is just the first explanation of my first trading like idea. So like going back to like daily time frame, going back to the daily time frame, this is what it looks like. Like after price, see in this zone, it indicated this zone in the 4 hours, right? This zone in 4 hours at this point, right? Good. Straight to break the structure, right? So now this is what happened. I have a WhatsApp group where I share my trades, where I also share some key information. You understand? Where we work together as a community, right? I'm going to share another example of how I put it in different places. Like, yeah, okay, yeah. This is not just a one-time magic or something. It's not this is something I've been working with. It's something I've been working with, and I don't think you should be very careful about when you're trading. Invalid stop loss is one of the deal breakers in trading. Invalid stop loss. If your stop loss is invalid, like you want to flip some money, you want to mix ASAP. I'm not saying it's totally bad. Some people are very, very good flippers, you understand? But like me personally, what works for me is always making sure I can cover my stop loss, always making sure I can cover my stop loss, always making sure I use the right amount of lot sizes that I am comfortable with. And I always use money sizing. Money sizing in terms that I calculate the amount of money I want to risk on the trade, right? I am comfortable with it. So like my risk is what determines my lot size. I don't just jump into the market with lot one, lot two, lot three, lot 30, lot 100, you understand? I don't just do that. I work with my money sizing in my own terms, that's what works for me. Do you understand? That's what works for me. That's what works for me. And as a trader, you should do what works for you. There are so many traders in the world, so many good for traders, so many good flippers, so many good swingers, so many good scalpers, so many good ones. You understand? Kudos to everyone trying to make it out of this industry. It's a very tough industry, you understand? But like everyone's pushing, everyone's trying. Always make sure you're journaling, always make sure you're doing the right thing, the things right, because at the end of the day, it's you versus you always. It's you versus you always. You understand? So like, yeah, coming back to USD card, this is how it is. This is how it works out. So like market was actually initially bearish, right? But like market interacted with this brief zone here. You can see your daily chart here. You can see your daily major chart change of character at this point, right? Then this was a breaker block in the daily also the price interacted with. So like I marked out my change of character, right? I marked out my change of character at this point. My major church is at this point. I'm marking out in case I didn't mark it out earlier. Yeah, I think I didn't mark it out. But like this is it. Just I'm using here because that's where the candle closed. So, like that's where my major change factor happened, right? Then my retracement into the potential key level. And let's calculate our Fibonacci. You can see if you calculate the Fibonacci, you see that look here. Price covered it, right? Let's see. Let's see what happened. This particular trade, I know It did not kick off from the 61.8. It made some little push from the zone, but then kicked off. When I mean, I say it here. There's a little push from the zone, but it could not hold. So until price interacted with a certain key level in the market, right? Price interacted with a certain key level in the market. Price interacted with a certain key level in the market, right? Then this is your chart, right? This is your retracement into the POI, then boom, that's it. If you can swing, you will enjoy the. If you can swing, you enjoy the market because after you can see after the first push, it's retraced back to the entry before going back up to break structure. I'm always patient. Do you understand? I'm always patient. And one thing I always do, like whenever my price covers my stop loss, I take out partials and let it reverse. So like this is it. This was the first move. This is another move, but like the previous one I showed you on AD, there's this exactly what happened. Like the stop loss is always below that 78% zone. It's probably even close to the 100 zone, I understand. So you must be able to calculate it properly. You must always be able to calculate it properly. So like that is for one. And some another idea I had at the card was this. After price made a low here, and this is my new key level in the market. Like key level has not been swept, which means price is still completely bullish. Price is still completely bullish in USD card for me, right? Price is completely bullish for me. So like I was always expecting, I was always expecting this, yeah. I'm expecting this here, which means it dropped to this market, sweeping this level, and this was my liquidity level I was expecting, but that didn't happen yet because price kept on fine, pushing towards upside. But like all I wanted to show you guys what I mean by Choch and Retest. This is Choch and Retest. After a chain of character, the retest, which is your pullback, and buys back up to the break of structure. This is your break of structure, daily break of structure. At this point, the target's completed, and this was what happened. So like this is my victory reward. You can see it here, 1:4, right? 1:4 on this zone. That is ignoring that 61.8% zone because it did not kick price did not kick off from that zone. If I switch to like lower time for maybe let me just say maybe a 3 hour zone. Let's say 3 hours market at that. Let's see, this is how 3 hours look like. Let's see. Exactly how it is. I've been so patient to trading that way since the price is not in the initial zone I want to execute. You can see where I marked out the zone. You can see I carefully marked out the zone at that point. Carefully marked out the zone at that point, right? So that's it. Are you saying guys? Yeah, this is the zone. Price is outside of the zone. Took my entry. I'm good. Alright, that's how it works. But be patient. Be patient. You allow the whole move play out. You should allow the whole move play out. So like ignoring this I'm showing you guys how to try to test things, like how it works with Fibonacci, how you must always, what are the requirements? You must confirm and price is interacting with a strong zone, a valid support zone and strong zone. But this is a breaker, right? The zone just has to be strong. Like when price interacts with the zone, when they push up that forms a chain of character, that chain of character is formed. Our next idea is for the retest. You must wait for the retest. Do not just get into the market. Wait for the retest, right? Wait for the retest. After the retest happens, all you have next is your break structure. After interacting with the POI, then you must put your risk reward. Do not work with anything like less than 1:2. You understand? If your market is less than 1:2, please do not work with it. 1:2, 1:3, 1:4. Fine, get your money, you rack it up. Is that's okay? Is that trade by trade you get better, you grow as a trader. So like this was 1:4 at years card, then at 80 years, I think this was 1:5.45, understand? That was again a ransom 1:5 on 80 years. After 61.8% client tap into the POI and then sells the broker structure, understand? 1:5, super. So like for further information, you can give me a text on Instagram. I'm always happy to like inform people about what I know about trading, the knowledge I've gained over the years, and I've been trading for about 2 to 3 years now, and based I'm working on many things, but like I'm so happy to give out information. Reach out to me on my Instagram, reach out to me on Thread, reach out to me on YouTube. You can drop a comment on YouTube if you do not fully understand. I'm always happy to do a new video and explain things to you. Like always happy. Understand? always happy when people are building success because I know that success is not given, it is earned. Success is earned. No matter what anybody says, you must either take the risks or you let go of what you want. It's that simple. So like wrapping things up, I think I've spent ADUSD, I've spent USD card. I've used my Choch and Retest on both pairs. I'm just saying both pairs right now, but there are other pairs I could explain pairs, such as USD JPY. I can explain this and how it happened with USD JPY. Like you can see my daily key level or like a retracement, my POI and break of structure. So many pairs. I'll do a video about USD JPY. Probably watch my next video. You're gonna watch how I explain about USD JPY. So that's it, guys.